We are back for our third installment of the Why You Got Knocked Out series. When a fighter gets knocked out, there are lots of things that got them to that point. There's pressure, there's patterning somebody out, there's tiring them out, there's working the body, there's setting and breaking patterns for later in a fight, but there is always one acute mistake that they make, an issue, an error that lets that one big punch land that puts them away. And today we're trying to identify those things so that you don't fall into the same mistakes, you don't have those pitfalls when you fight. You guys all know when I do these, I watch these things blind, so let's start it off. Good stiff jab from Blue Trunks. And he lances through Red Trunks' guard and eventually puts him away. If we look at this setup again, he starts with the jab. That jab forces Red Trunks back and breaks his posture. Red Trunks hits the ropes, and you can see Blue Trunks does exactly what he's supposed to do. He attacks center line first, and then he loops around. If you want to absolutely demolish somebody's guard, this is how you do it. You pair those linear and those round attacks to pierce through and spread those defenses thin so that you can shoot the gaps in between. Now, Red Trunks should have been insulating his high guard with other defenses. You need to be able to threaten out of the high guard and punch. You need to still be ducking, rolling, slipping, and moving your feet, especially at heavyweight. If you sit on the ropes with that high guard up, the other person has plenty of power to punch through that guard and hurt you. Our second fight is an open exchange. Blue is doing a wonderful job of attacking that center line with his cross. You can see that Red Trunks doesn't like that, and he compromises his position as he yields ground. So if we watch here, Blue is threatening to the center line, and then Red walks his way back to the ropes. He's not in a position that he can fight out of. His hands are not where they're supposed to be, and that sets him up for Blue to walk to that open side angle and shoot right across Red's left shoulder and catch him. Right position, right guard, right stance for the right distance. And it's always better to be in a position to absorb force and need to absorb force than to compromise any of those things to rush to another position. Because if you get hit in that transition, you're not ready to absorb that force. Got a BKFC fight here, closed exchange. And we can immediately see that bare knuckle, even something like a jab, has plenty of force behind it to hurt somebody. There's no padding on those gloves. Red Raps over here has broken his posture. He's looking down at the floor. He's defending frantically and not specifically. He's not seeing and defending those punches. He's throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and hoping it gets the job done. And it doesn't look like it does. They say it's the shot you don't see coming that hurts you, and I think that that's very, very, very true. Every punch I've ever felt in my career was always one I didn't see coming that I wasn't ready to brace for. Once again, it's better to be in a position to get hit than to compromise your position and your posture and get hit when you're not ready to dissipate that force. Our next fight is an open exchange. We got Red Gloves pressuring. Nice tight guard from White Gloves here. But again, he's not moving his head, he's not moving his feet, he's not threatening out of that guard, and it's no secret that you can punch through somebody's guard and hurt them. If you know they're going to be there, you can dig through, and that's exactly what his opponent did. Closed exchange fight, and a tall guy, small guy fight, some of my favorites. Good traffic from Red Shorts. Doing a great job of playing the Matador here, and it pays off for him. So let's see what Green's mistake was. Going back. You can see right off the bat, green falls in when he throws his punch, and then he gets framed out by red trunks here. Red trunks does a great job. We talk all the time. He attacks center line, and then he attacks over the shoulder from an angle. When you take an angle, you always attack center line first. When you're in middle distance, you always punch in combination. Good habits. Green is probably already hurt here. Stands on the line and shells up. And if we can slow that down, let's see the exact mistake that's made. Green trunks dips down low, exits out, drops his left hand, and tries to open with a giant right hand from behind his back on the line in front of a guy who's longer than him. The guy on the line defends it and attacks off of the same side, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. There's a reason you don't hook on the line. You hook on the line, and that person is inside of your defenses, and that's exactly what happens here. Green gloves attacks with the right hook. The right hook is defended. Red shorts attacks with the left hook. The left hook cannot be defended. Not when you're up tall like that, not when you don't have a hand to block, and it gets the job done. Don't hook on the line, folks. Another close exchange. Aggressive right hand from blue gloves. Another aggressive right hand from blue gloves. But he gets caught. He lost his base lunging in with that jab. He's airborne, and he doesn't have his right hand where it needs to be as his opponent gets under it, and he gets clipped with a 3 for his troubles. It looks like blue gloves gets back up and gets caught standing on the line in exchange range with no guard and doesn't seem to be moving his head. Another bare knuckle fight. Love all the feinting here. In bare knuckle, the stakes are real. And again, we see an example of a jab hurting somebody. Very, very common in bare knuckle fights. Blue comes in with the jab. Red is obviously uncomfortable with that. Blue comes in again. Jab. Right hand. And poor Red just got caught reaching. You can see he's lost line of sight. He's reaching for punches. His hands are not doing something specific and productive. My very first boxing coach told me, when you're fighting, every single limb, every point of articulation is accounted for, and it is contributing to the cause to help you. You can't have your hands on autopilot. They need to have something they're doing, whether they're attacking or whether they're defending, so that you can have success and they're not just floating around as a liability.